There's a reason why the 3 former state's attorneys are all supporting me. Scott Walton, Tom Leeper, and Barney Beer. Tom Leeper and Barney Beer are here, and I'm sure if you want to talk to them, they will tell you. There's a reason why the attorneys are supporting me. There's a reason why the majority of law enforcement are supporting me. There's a reason why the majority of probation officers are supporting me. The circuit clerks are supporting me, and they're here as well. There's a reason why people like Harold Knapheit are supporting me, and industrial leaders like Frank Muschel and Jack Sharkey are supporting me. There's a reason why people like Lee Lindsay are supporting me, and Rocky and Rhonda Murray, who do so much for this community, are supporting me. They understand that I have the knowledge and the ability and the experience to lead Adams County as your state's attorney. Thank you.
Thank you. As I pointed out, I have a proven record of success. I do so much more than just show up and do the cases that are assigned to me. I have a reputation for digging in and making a difference. That's what I've done. That's the type of prosecutor I am, and that's the type of vision I have for the future of the state's attorney's office. That's also why I have an effective two-prong approach for all the areas of law that I deal with, for being out in the community and educating and preventing, and also swinging hard on the back end. My numbers speak for themselves. A 96% conviction rate, a 65% reduction on DUIs, a grant that brings public safety to the forefront of everything we do. And in that grant, I'm proud of it. I don't know why Mr. Farhoff thinks it's a dirty, ugly thing. You know, folks, if I were here and my opponent had a grant and had won a program like this, which, by the way, takes a lot to get to, I would be applauding him for that part. I would never criticize something that has done so much good for our community. I've authored a manual, I have it right here, for prosecutors and law enforcement officers across the state. I've been given several awards, including leadership awards. You see, I believe as public servants, we owe it to the community to be out there, to be tangible, and to do more than just show up at work. I've done that for 20 years. That's why my endorsements include multiple law enforcement officers and probation officers and circuit clerks as well. Okay, I don't get into doing that, but I don't want you to think because I don't bring them up, they don't exist. They do. And another thing I have is 6 current elected states attorneys across the state who see me and know what I've done. In fact, Lou Bianchi, who is the Republican McHenry County State's Attorney, which is one of the larger counties north of Chicago, wrote me a letter. Jennifer, your hard work to get drunk drivers off the road and protect the community of Adams County is very impressive. The citizens need to elect you as their next state's attorney. I also have a letter from one of the high school driver's ed teachers who supports me in this race. She says, Jen, thank you so much for coming and speaking to my driver's ed classes. Your message has reached 230 of our teenagers this quarter alone. What you pass along to the students is priceless. As a driver's ed teacher, you teach me new things every year. You see, this office includes managing a $1 million budget. That's why we've been talking about money. That's why we've been talking about fiscal responsibility. I have that reputation. This is an important race with an important outcome. And this, the state's attorney's position, let me just end with this, is not a plaque to put on the wall for things done in the past. It is a hope for the promise of a future. I can provide that hope for the promise of a future. When you look at what I've done in the last 20 years, just imagine what I can do in the next. Thank you.
Once again, I want to say thank you to everybody for turning out here. It is after 8 o'clock, so I think we're going to limit it to maybe 2 questions. No? No, well, we don't want to stay here till midnight, okay? That's for sure. So please remember that this is an informational meeting, not a confrontational meeting. I know we have two very separate camps here, and then there are some people in the middle. We don't want to get caught in the crossfire. Please be courteous, okay? Well, I'll put on my mother look, and I know how to do that. So, does somebody have a question?
Mrs. Spalding claims a 67% reduction in DUIs in Adams County, kind of a singular effort on your part. Yet in January, the Today Show covered a press release from Mothers Against Drunk Driving showing a nationwide decline of over 50% since their inception in 1990. So, do you believe that that effort has assisted here in Adams County, or is that all because of your efforts here?
I would never take full credit for any of the programs that I've worked, because I'm a team captain, if you will, of this innovative program and technique that I've developed. And I can't do it without the help of law enforcement and without the help of our judges, who've been very supportive of my program. But I can tell you that I was the leader in developing that program that has reduced the DUI rates down by 65% in our community.
The persons that are responsible for DUI enforcement are the law enforcement officers. And I think they're the ones that get the credit for all the efforts that they do.
For once, I might actually agree with part of what my opponent is saying, but keep in mind, I have taught them this innovative program and technique. It is a unique to Illinois program. It has gained nationwide attention. I've been asked to speak on a national level, and these officers were not doing this until I taught them that. Now, I'm not saying I taught them everything, but as far as this innovative technique that I started 8 years ago, that has led to this 65% reduction rate. And I train law enforcement officers all the time and work with them, and I avail myself to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They know they can count on me any hour, any day. Thank you.
Okay, we have another question back there.
Yes, regarding the complexity of laws that we have and the volume that we have. Our father of the Constitution, James Madison, warned us about 225 years ago.
Louder,
It will be of little avail to the people if the laws are made by men of their own choice. Our laws will be so voluminous they cannot be read, or so incoherent they cannot be understood, unquote. So, noting Madison's concern, today, according to books out there and a number of articles, the average person, is kind of a maiden stat, but I found it in a number of places, commits 3 felonies a day. If that is true, as bizarre as that may seem, if that is true, how does that affect the importance of the job you're applying for? If the laws are so complex, and we have so many on there that you can unwillingly commit 3 felonies a day, how does that affect the importance of your job that you're applying for?
I think it's very important, Jeff. I think it's very important that you have somebody that not only has the experience to know when to prosecute and when not to prosecute, but has the compassion to understand people and know what to do.
I would just say that, I think, again, that goes to the first prong of my approach. I think it's important for prosecutors to be very tangible in the community, to be able to answer questions to folks. I go out and speak not just to the schools, but I also speak to a lot of clubs and organizations. So I think it's important for them, for the community to understand what we expect of them. Thank you.
I have a question for Mr. Farr. I am a mental health crisis counselor here in Quincy, and I have worked in the trenches with these children, adolescents, and families for 14 and a half years. And our families and children and adolescents are in crisis right now. We had more the most screenings that we've ever had for kids that are in crisis over this in February. And I think it's, important to have the prevention and those type of things. So I would love to hear more what you would be doing to, provide prevention.
Well, I can tell you this, that I've worked with your executive director, and we have plans to try to establish a mental health court in Adams County, which is very necessary. I also, with my Citizens Advisory Committee, want to deal with issues such as those and get real solutions. And I have people on my Citizens Advisory Board from transitions and from other service providers. We do need to get real solutions for lots of these problems. And I agree with you as to that. We have a tremendous need. We have people that are in crisis. Part of my Citizens Advisory Committee deals with getting jobs. And that's not really typically the arena for the state's attorney. But jobs are important. I want to work with industrial leaders to get as many jobs as we can through economic development, because it's a known fact that if you have jobs and people are working, then the drug use goes down, the violence goes down. That's very important. And that's why I stress the fact that I have so many supporters from the industrial area. Thank you.
He's right.
Probably more of a comment. I kind of lost where Mr. Farha was going, because it almost sounded like he was running for mayor, but we're here as prosecutors, and I think there are certainly, things that we can do within our office, and our assistants, Jamie Fry does a wonderful job in the mental health arena, and to make sure that we have assistants in our office, again, who are tangible, community-minded people, and who can work with those who are in need of mental health treatment and whatnot, and that's how we do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. Please rise so we can sing God Bless America. And then when you go home, please don't forget to take a vote poster.